One, Kilryan and Flo here, bringing you the very first Everything TERA podcast. Basically, we saw that there were no real quality podcasts out there, so we decided some of the main streamers, myself and Flo, should basically reach out to the community and show everyone what's up with podcasts. Go.
Well, my name is Flo, and I lead a guild called Blacklist. I've been a competitive 3v3 for how long has this game been out? 3s has been out for 6 months. Really want to get things going with the community. I feel like the TERA community is really small, and with us getting involved in this sort of thing, we want to really make it grow. We want more people to play the game, and we just want more PvP, more PvE, get all that hype,
We got some snipers here. Everyone with us. But today, what we pretty much want to start talking about, everybody, was, in general, what is TERA? For those of you who might be new to the game, or starting the game, thinking about picking it up, or just even hitting 60. So TERA is your, it's an MMO. Everyone knows what a massive multiplayer online role-playing game is. Obviously, we all massively multiplayer guys, or whatever, playing girls, whatever the hell that saying is. But for the most part, what really makes TERA stand out is the real action combat of it. What real action combat is instead of your typical tab target and attack a target, like everyone's played WoW, or for the most part, and you just say, I want to hit this, mash buttons, and it'll automatically do that. TERA forces us to actually aim all of our skills and do all of the, as Flo said one time, it's like going into an arcade and playing Tekken in an MMO. So, it's just really cool.
It's really involving, just kind of the whole hand-eye coordination. You're going in there, you want to do TPS, you're not, hitting your tab lock on, and it's just kind of, going. No, you're actually in there, and you have to commit, and it's a lot of, coordination involved when you're doing PvE or PvP or whatever, and it's just, I think it's a really exciting game. It stands out on its own. No other free-to-play MMO is like this at all, and it's just, it questions me, why is the community not as big in comparison to, other games, or a Kingdom or something like that. It's kind of
yeah. For the most part, I think the reason why it's so small is just because the community, me and Flo are obviously doing this, trying to expand the community, and hopefully everyone else will also do the same. Even right now, if you're watching this on the live stream that's going on, make sure to tweet this out and everything along those lines, because we want to make this game grow, and that's what we're here for. So, pretty much, a lot of people are wondering, with TERA being a free-to-play MMORPG, a lot of people have this stigma of, free-to-play, it's not going to be quality. I think one thing, though, is with, games such as League of Legends, you can tell the difference. Adjust that cam flow. But I think a lot of people seeing games like League of Legends being pretty much the biggest esport, free-to-play does not mean it's going to be a bad game. And a lot of people, on top of that, is saying free-to-play means that it's going to be pay-to-win, which I think TERA completely shows that that's not necessary at all.
It's a huge stigma to the game, and you just kind of the game offers so much, and even though people come and go like a revolving door, people just will always come back because it's really addictive. You get to play with your friends, and you're everyone, you get to see yourself really involved in the combat, and it's kind of, it really stands out, and it's just why would you play other MMOs?
Yeah, I've never played an MMO like TERA, and that's why, I picked it up originally whenever it first came out, but I couldn't really get into a guild at that point in time. But I came back once it went free to play. I've been playing it for a year straight. I have it's kind of a shame to admit, but I have 120 days /played over the course of this year
I
now.
got 150 or something. It's you can't stop playing the game. It's too much fun.
We don't have lives. It's okay. It's okay. But a lot of, on top of basically it being the free-to-play, completely real action combat, and just, your typical or standard MMORPG with, a whole different level, a lot of people kind of worry about content. A lot of free-to-play games have a lack of content and whatnot, which TERA has actively been adding new content. We saw this ever since I started playing again. I think 4 or 5 major content patches have come out, and that's a lot. Over the course of a year, that's a pretty good bit. It's not ridiculous, but it still gives us something new to do every single time. In fact, in the near future, they're going to be adding, for those of you who have been playing TERA and kind of know what's going on, the Reaper class. The Reaper class that's going to be coming into the game. which Flo here actually has some personal experience with it over on TERA.
Yeah, Reaper is just exciting. Like, it took them what 3 months to try to like create the animations for a brand new class, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Ellen!" But a new class after being out like in Korea for 2 years after getting a new class, it's like we have something new to do, and everyone's kind of excited. Basically, what the Reaper is, it's a mid-ranged physical and magical damage dealer, and it does massive AoE. Basically, its role, it does so much disruption. It might not have the burst of like an archer or a Sork, but what it does is it's got like this massive AoE, like always. It's like flashy, everyone's excited. Like it's really vividing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's one thing that I noticed about the Reaper class is its animations. Like, okay, so here's me attacking on my Berserker right now. Like, oh man, I get to spin and show a little bit of flair and whatnot. But for the most part, it's not that flashy. If you've ever seen, which Flo actually does have some content on his YouTube of the new Reaper class, which is youtube.com/Flowroro. It basically, like, you use an ability and there's like fireworks going off, just shadows going everywhere. You're like, oh
like,
my
God. You're just like, am I gonna lag? There's like so many spell animations going on, and it's just kind of like, it's like, damn, like really, like finally a class where it specializes in like massive AoE, and it's kind of really catches your eye, and you're just like, you can't. They just kind of generate their own. Like, they stand out, is what I'm trying to say here.
Definitely.
It's a great class.
It's a completely unique class, like, in comparison to, you know, a warrior or a slayer, you know, or a berserker. We're all, like, really melee-oriented, or archer, sorcerer. Obviously, they're not going to get up in your face at all. They're just going to be kiting the entire time. While this is, like, the hybrid of everything, which I think it's going to add pretty much so much to the game. The fact that they're adding this kind of new content, a new class and whatnot, just shows that they are progressing. And I believe you said a little bit ago, Flo, that they hired a new content creator group to actually...
what it basically is that when TERA, in Korea, when they actually started their free-to-play kind of like platform, right? They had to hire new people. This is kind of like they know that they're not putting up enough content into the game, and they're like, hey, we need to make money off of this game. Free to play is kind of the new thing, so they're trying their best to just actively pump out content over and over. And this class is basically designed by brand new staff, and it's just kind of like, like it's really exciting because you know the previous staff wasn't able to create a new class before. Now we can do it now, and if it's successful to the Korean market, it'll definitely be successful here. We'll see new races. Who knows? They might even make another class after that.
And then a lot of people are really curious about, like, when is this planning on being released? Tree Shark, basically the major content guy for US TERA, he specifically stated that we can see this class coming in spring. So what that means is pretty much... Flo says as early as March. I don't believe him. But
it might be April. Like, you never know, right?
I say April or May. April or May is going to be probably a solid time to expect to see the class, which the class actually starts if you have a level 40. If you have a level 40 across any server, you can make the Reaper class, which is going to be straight up level 50 automatically, and you get a questing zone all the way up to level 58. So that's going to be its own unique experience as well. So a little bit more into Reaper, like a little bit more advanced. With it being a new class and everything like that, how do you see it being valid in both PvE and PvP?
Well, the thing is that in terms of PvP, it offers a lot of things that like other classes don't do. For one, like it has a range stagger on a 6-second CD, just like Sork. So they have a stagger that's always available, and it has a kit very similar to Warriors and Slayers. So a lot of the things work off of each other. You're gonna do one AoE, and then you're like, you have skills on CD, and you're like, hey, this other skill will always be there available. It's just kind of always working. You're always doing DPS, which of course means that your mana is gonna be dead if you're awake, if you're committing way too much. But the thing is that it has a range KD, or AoE KD, by the way, which is more massive than any AoE in the game. It's bigger than a Fire Blast, which is, to me, is absolutely insane. But in terms of PvP, it adds a lot of disruption, a lot of CC, just like a Slayer would in a GVG. It's just that now you're just a lot more flashy and you can kite. Don't forget the fact that they can swap. They can do like some crazy stuff where they can swap positions with another player, and they can do some crazy stuff where they're like a lancer where they leash, except it's a reverse leash, so they're pulling themselves towards people. It's just more crowd control, more disruption, always in your face, always freaking fighting. In terms of PvE, though, I think that it has to put a lot more effort in than other classes. Like, the burst is not necessarily there. You have to work a lot harder for you to get your DPS, but I'm sure it'll keep up, especially with the new PvE patch coming up in TERA, so their gear will just kind of balance out with the rest of them.
Yeah. I could. So basically, what you're saying is it's going to be a ranged version of a warrior. We can all look forward to seeing that in PvP.
Yep.
But for the most part, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, I'm going to be re-rolling this class. Oh, it's a new class. Oh, it's like a hero class, like, you know, they had in WoW with Death Knights and stuff like that. But people are saying, like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm going to re-roll this class. I'm going to play this class. Everyone's going to be playing this class. We all know everyone's going to make one.
Exactly.
But for the most part, we still have to say, like, each class is going to be their own unique individual, like, play style, own unique... They bring their own thing to the table. Like, for example, I'm a Berserker, you know, and I've always really enjoyed the Berserker class. With it being charge-oriented, a lot of people say it's slow, but in the end, if you get a proper attack speed and stuff, like, you're actually an extremely fast class. And Berserkers bring those insanely heavy hits to the table on top of just, like, KD chains on KD chains in PvP. Like, if anyone's done Champion Scaring or even Freywind and gone against a good Berserker, they're going to keep you on your ass for, like, I don't know, like 10 seconds straight, if not more. And so I think one thing that we need to make sure to tell people is that your class isn't going to be invalid with the introduction of this new class.
All classes are going to be good, 100%. Every class offers something different to the table, and this is just another set of skills. Like Slayers and Warriors, they do single target DPS, they focus people. You know, Slayers obviously offer more burst, and Warriors offer more stuns. It's just like, when you really put down the class, you're really going to compare it to the ranges, and with the range classes, both sorcerers and archers, and obviously sorcerers and archers offer different things. Sorcerers are a lot more based on, you know,
sleeps.
Utility, sleeps, especially like a lot of magical spells going on, whereas the archer is going to be a lot more focused on, you know, just kind of getting their arrow in and shooting it. It's always going to be good. All the classes will be good, especially the Reaper. The Reaper is going to be good with the recent buff.
All we can hope for is nerfs to Lancers and Warriors and...
and Archers. Screw those.
Please! If anyone's watched, like, any of Flo's content on YouTube, if anyone's seen, like, me just doing threes, it's just, you'll hear me, cheese! And then all of a sudden everyone just dies. But, you know, that's kind of going off topic.
Yeah.
But for the most part, guys, make sure to stick to your classes. Learn to master it, because TERA's as far as TERA goes, it's one of those games that, like, you can always improve. Like, Flo here, he's been playing Slayer for, like, 2 years now, pretty much?
The beginning of the game, basically,
yeah. Like, he's been playing TERA for that long, and he's still, like, on his Slayer going, like, I can do this, I can do that, like, your Omni/combo. He made up a new fucking combo, basically. Omni/combo with new introductions of, like... especially, we forgot to mention about the next feature coming into the game, being the attack speed. The auto attack speed procs.
Yeah, so, combo attacking, actually building up stacks, and, you know, hey, if you build up a certain amount of stacks with your combo attack, you can perform certain things, so you'll get bonuses that stay on there for 10 seconds. You have a choice of doing it. It's just
it's going to add a whole nother level. You're just going to be doing Omni/version 6.0 here soon, you know?
It's going to be a brand new thing you can incorporate into PvP, obviously.
So for the most part, I think we've done a pretty good job as far as explaining, like, why TERA is good, and especially addressing the Reaper class, which everyone wants to know about for the most part. Let's see. I wanted to kind of, because we are approaching actually 23 minutes. We're looking to make these around 30 minutes each time, guys. And these are going to be uploaded across both YouTube as well as hopefully on iTunes once we figure out how that actually works. But we want to kind of we kind of wanted to end on a little bit of a lighter note, being what is our favorite race and the stereotypes behind them.
Races, it's insane. Like when I first started TERA, I didn't know what race to play. Every single race was kind of like didn't really suit my personality. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like humans that are just like so buff, and Amani is just like muscle. Like it's kind of insane. Doesn't really fit my personality. I'm really like when you play other MMOs, I'm used to playing a very generic race, kind of like just plain simple. Like whatever. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like when you see this, every single race has its kind of own personality and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I never even considered playing a female race. It's kind of like a new thing to me. And at first I was kind of like,
didn't you first want to be a Baraka Lancer?
You gotta be a big like obscene like structure, just kind of running around, like absolutely insane.
We can clearly see it matches you in real life, like pretty much spot on, right?
Dude, yeah, exactly. Like I'm always eating on mic after all. It's just kind of.
But so the pretty much the main thing would be like Ellen's. Like we're all playing. If you look in front of us right now, you just see there's one male character. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ellens and 2 female, like 2 female human or high elf. And it's just like, what made you decide to play an Ellen out of anything?
Well, funny story, really. When I was first like leading a guild and stuff like that, like my birthday came and I was like really drunk, and I have a guildmate named Miku, and he was like telling me, hey, for your birthday, I'm gonna race change you to Ellen. And I was just like, no, you're not. You're not going to change me to Ellen. And I kind of passed out on TeamSpeak. I was like, Dad. And he force logs onto my account. I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm a little girl. And like, there's such a social stigma like that people really present when they first start the game. It's just like, oh, you're a pedophile. Oh, you're like little girls. Ha ha ha. Look at me with my little dress. And I'm just like, I don't think it really matters like what race you play. I think that whatever that you enjoy seeing, you enjoy being. And don't forget that certain races have advantages in PvP and PvE in terms of ranges. I don't understand the point of that, but they're just really want each race to stand out, and I think that TERA really provides a personality for each race.
Me, on the other hand, I just made an Ellen because it matches me in real life. Cute as fuck, basically. I don't know about anyone else, but I mean, you can look at my character right here on my stream right now. I got the fucking rims going on, just like me in real life. Like, I got blonde hair, hips that don't lie. All these sorts of things. But for the most part, I think it's pretty funny how, like you said, a lot of people are like, oh my god, you're an Ellen. You're a pedophile. It doesn't make sense.
I play I play a Castanic female, and to me, it's like I want these advantages that they offer with the 1% crit behind the back. There's certain hitboxes that they can just display in PvP, but it's just like, oh, you're gonna be like all sexy and stuff like that, and it's just like. At the same time, it's like I don't want to play a Castanic male. Like their abs going. I'm just like this does not match me at all.
No, man, you actually his real nighttime job is he's a male go-go dancer. We'll be honest here.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, guys, play whatever race that you want to play. Make sure to check out TERA. It's easily the best free-to-play MMORPG on the market. You can see we are streaming this live on each of our respective Twitch channels. Mine is twitch.tv/Kilryan. What is yours, Flo?
Twitch.tv/Flowroro. And we actually plan to stream on Hitbox as well if we want to really kind of get it real time. We want the commentary. We really want to engage with our audience. We want you guys to know that we actually care. Yeah. And we want to help you guys out.
We're both streamers who just constantly try to interact with our viewers and whatnot. And so one thing that we are going to be possibly doing is going over to Hitbox occasionally. So make sure to follow us both here on Twitch, because this is still going to be kind of our main place. It's where we got a lot of our viewers right now. As well as follow us on hitbox.tv/Kilryan and hitbox.tv/Flowroro. And this podcast...
It's a bit bugged on my screen.
Is it?
Yeah.
But on top of basically watching this live every single Saturday from 7 to 8 to EST, that's pretty much our set time, we are going to be uploading this for anyone who wants to watch it on our respective YouTube channels as well, which mine is youtube.com/Kilryan.
youtube.com/Flowroro. It's the same thing.
I'm still getting him into the plug life, guys. I'm still teaching him.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Kilryan, at Flowroro. Insert all these